Welcome back to another Dark Horse Crypto update. It's been a while since I've done a video, but given that we've had a lot of action in the markets over the past couple of weeks, I thought I'd do a video of both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin will look at 3 different time frames. Ethereum will just look at the standard 4-hour chart. So we'll just start here. 4-hour chart in Bitcoin, starting from the top here. So we have minor wave 1, this blue wave 1. So that marks the top of the impulse from the July low, topped right on October the 20th. So we had a corrective pullback here in wave A, a 3-wave rally here in wave B. It did overthrow the high, which actually makes this labeled as an expanded flat here. So for this ABC, we have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and wave 5 here. This is labeled as wave W. You could argue that this is a wave 3, and instead of this being a wave X, maybe it's a wave 4. Either way, the fact that we have a corrective rally here, just 3 waves that really couldn't push through resistance, that gave us the clue that this correction was not done, that this spike low here wasn't the low, and that we were going to head lower again. Now, if we zoom in here on the internals of this wave count, so we would expect from this point a 5-wave decline to happen. So we have, a wave 1, a wave 2, and here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's a wave 3. You could, if you zoom in here on a 15-minute chart, you could argue that maybe this is a tiny wave 4 and tiny wave 5. It's also possible that we have wave 4 forming right now and that this 5th wave hasn't quite completed yet. But we are sitting close to the low that we projected back up here. If we zoom back a little bit, so you can see this black line lines up pretty nicely with this support level that we had at this wave 4. Often the prior 4th wave of one lesser degree will act as a support range for a decline. So whether we've bottomed here, and if we have, then we want to see a rally up at least to this 43K level, ideally higher. If we're getting the B wave, so if we still do have another zigzag to go to complete this might fail here and get one more pullback below. But we'll be watching this to see if we can get a 5-wave move up, breaking through key resistance, if it's a more sustainable reversal. At the same time, we got this low yesterday, so we do see the MACD starting to turn back up. It's still in the negative region, so it's not. It suggests that maybe we get a rally, but it doesn't give really any proof that we have a more sustained reversal. Now, sentiment-wise, I did put out a tweet yesterday saying that just based on sentiment here is just as bearish as it was during the July low. So fear and greed index yesterday actually hit 10, which is they label it as extreme fear. So based on sentiment, based on reaching close to the end of this wave count, based on indicators starting to turn upward here, so both RSI and money flow also started to turn up a little bit right around this same area. That suggests that we should at least get some sort of counter trend rally. Whether it's just a relief rally and we head back lower, we'll have to see. So if we jump over, we zoom out a little bit, look at the daily chart. I know this one is pretty busy. It has the same labeling as the 4-hour time frame. But so I added the RSI here and the money flow. So you can see down here, RSI hit oversold. Now starting to turn up, the same spot that we could potentially count a 5th wave ending. Same spot where we get extreme fear sentiment, fear and greed index of 10 here. Same as we had back here as we were making a low in July, or actually in June. Now money flow here has been steadily decreasing. So if we look at money flow from the top, you can see that it actually peaked during this wave 3 of 5 here, and it actually has been trending down since October if you look in the daily time frame. So we did reach oversold here as we were correcting, rallied back up a little bit as we started to get this labeled as the wave X bounce, and then now we're back down into the oversold region. Now, other than this area here, the last time we've been this low on the money flow was actually over the summer. Looking at the sentiment, I've just started to label sentiment at swing lows and swing highs just to track sentiment changes during different wave movements to see if it can be used as a tool for confirmation. So if we look at Fear and Greed Index, so from the high here, so this was the high, but labeled as the wave B here. So starting at 75, dropping down to 31. Starting at this B wave, 72, dropping down to 34, 33 here. If you go a little bit lower. Pop back up to 72 on the spike low. This panic sell-off came back down to 23. Over here, sell-off down to 18. This popped back up to 38, and then bottomed out at 10. So we came back up to 40, and the question now is whether or not we bottomed out at 10. So we'll have to really track that to see. It's not hard evidence, but at least the sentiment being this bearish suggests that we should get some sort of rally here, and we seem to be doing that right now. The only issue here is that the weekly chart still looks very bearish. There's really no sign that anything's bottomed or starting to reverse here, at least on the weekly time frame. We would see it on an intraday and daily chart first, but if it's not sustained, then it's not going to make any real change in the weekly time frame. So for long-term confirmation, we'd like to see the weekly chart start to turn up. But as of right now, there's no hard evidence that we are actually at a bottom in the weekly time frame. So if we come all the way back here to the start of the bull market that we're in currently. So December of 2018, that's actually when this bull market started. So we have intermediate wave 1, came all the way up till July, a 9-month correction here, and intermediate wave 2. Very nice impulsive run up for intermediate wave 3. The correction from last spring that bottomed out over the summer is labeled as intermediate wave 4, and now I have an alternate here as what I view as the worst case scenario here with Bitcoin, or at least the most likely worst case scenario, according to the Elliott Wave count. I don't think this here really could qualify as a fifth wave, at least by itself. We have it labeled as wave 1 of 5, this pullback here, wave 2 of 5. The maximum depth wave 2 could go would be down to this low here. If it goes any further than that, it would invalidate this count. I did have a little bit of an issue of this wave 1 here coming up off the low. I still do, but given the impulsive nature of this rally, I'd rather not bet against the trend. But if we jump back here to the daily, this, unless you zoom into an intraday chart, I think at least a 15-minute chart or so, this counts as a three-wave move, three-wave rally. That shouldn't really happen if this is, a true impulsive first wave in a reversal. That's been my only issue with this rally up here of this blue wave one, is that this initial move here is really not an impulsive move up. And so if you take this away, if we don't have this as a wave 1, then we have a 1, a 2, and a 3. Which suggests that even though it went to a new high, it could be corrective. So this isn't the primary wave count, but the alternate would be that we're going to get, another move down to take out this low in intermediate wave 4. As far as how low it could go, projections, back over the summer, I had potential low all the way down to 21,000. That would be a very steep retracement, but it could actually happen, and if it did, it would still leave the bull market cycle intact. Wouldn't have to get that low. To be an expanded flat, all it would have to do is, take this low out by $1, by a penny, by anything underneath this would automatically make this alternate the primary count, where you have an expanded flat. It would mean that this wave 5 never actually started. But primary outlook, this is wave 1, pulling back in wave 2. We're actually right around the bottom target for this second wave. So what we're looking for is to see if we can get a sustained reversal, and hopefully get a reversal in this weekly time frame too. So here I have a couple of moving averages on the chart. We've got this thin line is the 50-period moving average, so 50-week moving average. This thicker line, this is the 10-week moving average. Now during this bull market here, so you can see once the price got above this 10-week moving average, it held it pretty closely as support all the way up until this wave 1 topped. Once it went below, it mostly stayed below. So we have a wave A, a wave B, and then a wave C. It just overthrew it for the B wave. And we actually got a major correction though once we got below here. Once we came back above, mostly held it as support here through this entire wave 3. Once it got below, we had another major correction. So we did wind up getting back above, mostly holding it as support, but it is a little bit concerning that we're now below this level here. So hopefully we can rally, get a sustained reversal, come back above, and then continue upwards in a fifth wave. So we'll see what happens there. So what we want to see as far as a sign for a reversal, jumping back to the 4-hour, we'd like to see a 5-wave move up past this green line. Right, so this is going to be the first key level. Second key level is going to be this prior wave X high. So we'd like to see this taken out, maybe back tested, held as support, and then this level taken out. If we can take out this level at 52K and remain above it, there's a strong probability that this entire correction is done, and that we're then moving up in a blue wave 3 of 5, which should be the largest part of the wave 5 rally. Okay, so let's look at Ethereum here. So Ethereum update in the 4-hour time frame. So we'll just look at the indicators here real quick. Similar to Bitcoin, as we were getting this low, and this wave 5 looks more convincing than Bitcoin's from yesterday. So we're starting to get the MACD turning back upwards. Same thing with the money flow. Now, in this case, the money flow actually has a potential bullish divergence here. So bottomed here, found a higher low as price was going to a lower low. And you can actually see the same thing here with the RSI. So RSI bottoming out here, now finding a higher low, rebounding up as the price actually made a lower low and is now recovering off of that low. So Ethereum's retraced. It almost hit the target. Target was 2908, between 2908, potentially down to 2700. close to this 0.618 retracement of the first wave. So we can actually label at this point a double zigzag from this blue wave 1 as being complete. I'm going to take these indicators off just so I get a little bit better view. So looking from the top here, we've got a wave A going down here, a corrective wave back up in wave B. This actually counts as a 5-wave move down here in wave C. A rally here, so ABC rally, 3 waves up. That makes this a wave X, which at this point suggested that we were still going to head lower. So we now have another wave A down, another wave B, and then a 1, 2, wave 3, wave 4, and a wave 5 of C to complete this entire double zigzag from the top. So bottom criteria, same thing as Bitcoin's. We want to see this prior 4th wave taken out, and then really we want to see this B wave taken out. So right up there. So we're looking for, so it looks like we have a wave 1, a wave 2, might be headed up in wave 3 now, maybe a 4 and 5. If we can do that, then hold this as support as we rally back up. That would be a great sign that this wave 2 low should be the bottom of this correction. Just one more thing I'd like to end with, looking at the daily here on Ethereum. So we'll just review the entire move from the June 21st low. To me, this actually looks like a better count and more convincing to me compared to Bitcoin's. So from here, we do have I mentioned that Bitcoin's move actually broke down into 3 waves up, which is a red flag that it could be corrective. Ethereum's, we have a nice clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So with Elliott Wave Theory, 5-wave moves suggests that it's moving in the direction of the trend. So if we have a 5-wave move up, it suggests that the larger trend is going to be up. So, that signals that this low should hold against the pullback that comes, which it did. And then the next move should be higher, even taking out this high. So we have wave 1, wave 2, have a nice subdivision to wave 3, a wave 4, and then kind of a nice clean 5-wave pattern up to complete wave 5 and this blue wave 1. So wave 1 coming back down to the 0.618 retracement of this wave 1. That's a typical retracement zone for Ethereum. All right, that's all I got. Have a good weekend.